Sports! 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 Now, in case you haven't guessed, I am not a sports person. Exhibit everything. And although I might not be a sports person, I do have full respect for anybody who is a sports guy or does like doing sports activity-ness. But there is one anime that I've been watching that has put me in a certain different kind of light towards a sport, and no, I'm not talking about Ping Pong the anime. Meh. I'm talking about Kuroko no Basket, or Kuroko's Basketball. Actually, can we talk about that for a minute? In Japanese, it's called Kuroko no Basketball, but for some reason, it always seems to get translated to the basketball which Kuroko plays. What the fuck? Quick Japanese lesson. Literally, Kuroko no Basketball translates to Kuroko's Basketball. Because of the no in the middle between Kuroko and basket, it's actually more like a conjunction between the proper noun of Kuroko and the usual normal noun of basketball. There is no verb anywhere in the Japanese name Kuroko no Basket, so where the hell they're getting play from, I do not know. Now, in Japanese, words like the and which don't technically actually exist, but that's an entire different lesson altogether. So anyway, we're talking about Kuroko no Basketball, or Kuroko's Basketball. Not the basketball which Kuroko plays. End of lesson. Now, in case you haven't guessed, the anime revolves around the character Tetsuya Kuroko, who, due to his lack of presence and very quiet nature, is much like a ghost in his games. The second character, and arguably best friend to Kuroko, is Taiga Kagamine. He was born in Japan, but spent most of his childhood in the US learning how to play street basketball. Then he comes back to Japan for high school, only to end up on the same team as Kuroko. Now, the main plot literally is all about basketball, but because it's anime, it's not that simple. There are 5 characters in the series known as the Generation of Miracles, and these are characters who have amazing, if not maybe slightly supernatural skills that they use in basketball games. First off, we have Shintaro Midorima. He is the 3-point shooter of the Generation of Miracles. When he gets that ball, he is never going to miss. Next is Ryota Kisei. He's the copycat. Now, he can copy any kind of trick, move, style, or sport as long as he has seen it. Next is Daiki Aomine. He is the formless shooter and powerhouse. He is just about impossible to read due to his odd style of gameplay and is almost considered invincible. Atsushi Murasakibara stands 6'10" and is known as the Iron Wall and Thor's Hammer. His defense is impregnable despite his lazy personality. And finally, you have the captain of the Generations of Miracles, Saijuro Akashi, and he has what is called the Emperor's Eye, allowing him to see into the future, so to speak. Kuroko is actually also one of the Generations of Miracles, known as the Phantom 6th player. As I mentioned before, it's due to his lack of presence and being perceived as a ghost half the time. His main ability is called Misdirection, where because he's on field and people don't notice him, he can sneak in behind players, steal the ball, and help people pass around tricky situations. So when it comes to the speed and ferocity of this anime, that's something that a lot of sports animes get stuck with sometimes. They feel the need to stop in the middle of a game, talk about their life background stories, and it can get annoying because you're stopping in the middle of a huge action sequence, and now we gotta talk about it for an entire episode. And though Kuroko no Basket does get caught in that sometimes, they do stop and talk for a little bit too long or just at the wrong point, they don't bog it down with too much talking at once. They kind of break it up into small segments throughout a game or an episode. Going back to the action of this anime, I actually started watching this anime when it was just coming out with the sub-releases of the second season, so I was a little bit behind. I had the luxury of being able to watch the first season especially in one sitting and not needing to wait for the next episode to be subbed. I would fall out of my chair just trying to click that next link to the next episode because I couldn't wait to find out the outcome of a game they were playing or something that would happen, or they were in a tight spot and they needed to get out of it. I was so enthralled with this anime that I couldn't wait half the time. So waiting for the next episode to come out would have probably killed me. Like, I truly would have probably died, which would have sucked. Thanks so much for watching my rant rave on Kuroko no Basketball. I am done with school and here back, so main focus is back on this channel. Be sure to check in on Tuesdays when my brother Andrew uploads, and Fridays when I, Sarah, upload. Ah! Thanks, guy.
Sorry, it was just too good. If that doesn't make it to the credit reel, I don't know what does.
What do you want?
Nothing, I just want to skip.